We're live. Yes? Yep. We are. Great. We're just getting a few things sorted if anyone's there. We're on Starlink, so it's, and we're in the middle of whoop whoop, so it's, we've got no phone reception other than relying on this. Good on that. So somebody asked me where I was this morning, and when I was sitting in the snow, and that was Shooters Hill, down here in New South Wales. But if you can hear me, chats will come up there. Yeah. And can I? Oh yeah. Is that telling me that people are coming on? Can you give me a thumbs up or something if you're on there, just so I can tell it's working? All right, well, I'm down in New South Wales battling the cold as a Queenslander, and it has been cold for us down here. The old blood's a bit thin, not as thick down here, that's for sure. But it's been pretty awesome. We went through the snow yesterday, which was pretty cool down here, but it's been temperatures of 5 degrees but feeling like 0 degrees, so it's been really cold. But I'm actually heading down to the National 4x4 show down in Sydney. That's where I'm heading to now. I'll be there in the next day or two. But we're just shooting a bit of content while we're down here, so I thought I'd put it out there for those that might be watching on what they, if they had any questions on the build or on any of the trips that I've been doing so far. So, oh look who we got, Jeff Shepherd. Howdy! Love the new 130. With regards to the 35 tyres, you have beefed up the axles, diffs, etc. on the rear. Yeah, absolutely. I've always run with 35s on all my Landies, and I've run with maxi drive axles and flanges. And if they're not the maxi drive, they're an equivalent to them. And I've got the ARB in this particular Landy, which come with the Land Rover, were ARB front and rear lockers. So they were in there when I got it, and yeah, it's working a treat. But I did just blow out the seals by changing the compressor. I put a new compressor in, which on the new compressors they've got a bigger where they switch, and so that pump the air and blew them out. So I've just got to fix up a couple of seals on the diffs at the moment. So that's underway. But yes, all sorted on that one. So now, as I was saying before, I don't know if anyone caught it, a fella asked me where I was on the photo that I posted in the snow, and that was Shooters Hill. And it was, as we were passing through on our way down here yesterday, it was pretty cool. But I've got a cameraman that's moving the camera on me, so I'm just trying to follow where we're going with the light on me too. We're running on Starlink at the moment, and that's been quite interesting because we've got no reception. But no, drop us a line or drop us a question on anything you might have. Why is that camera still moving or delayed? Wow, that's a long delay. As I say, I haven't done all this before, so it's all new to me. So anyway, who's going to the 4-wheel drive show down in Sydney? Anyone out there? I'd love to know if they're coming down. I'm going to actually be on both stages having a chat on the build, on the different trips I'm doing, and where I'm going with the Australian Bushman side of things, in the storytelling and stuff that I'm actually doing. And anyone out there that's been following along, got any comments on those sort of trips that I've done so far? And what do we got here? So, evening mate, how are you? I'm great. Simo Jr. I'm great, mate. Really am. I was just telling the rest of them, first time having a go at this. We're on Starlink, so hopefully we don't drop out, but we're having a ball, that's for sure. So we've been down in New South Wales here for the last probably week and a half sort of thing, just shooting some more content on different trips, and the last professional bush ranger that was down here, and down in a ghost town area, and some of the hidden gems around a couple of the known places that people get out to that are in New South Wales. So they're content and videos that you might want to get into to watch what we get up to. Who have we got? Okay, just done it. Starlink is great. What happened to the trusty old Canter? Oh, well, Starlink is great. It's fantastic. Look at us. We're out here and we've got all these devices working, so it's working a treat. I just hope it doesn't drop out because we haven't done it before. But the trusty old Canter, she's still back at home. I've got it. I'm saving it because I've got some plans with a lot of different other trips that I'm doing, and they're more the iconic stuff that I get into, where we go quite remote with different things, and so I will be doing some trips with that coming up. I'm not sure when, because at the moment I've got a lot of stuff planned out and a lot of stuff happening, so that's taking care of time, and time's just ticking all the time because we're going to. We're down here at the Sydney show, then I may shoot over to WA to do some stuff with Jeff from Seriously Series and catch up with him, because he's got a couple of little jobs over there that I help him out with, and then I'll be at the Melbourne show, so I'm sure we're going to have a ball there as well. But I'm bringing the old Andy down to both of them, Sydney and Melbourne, so I'm sure it'll have a couple more battle scars on it by the time I get to the Melbourne one. It's got a couple on this trip as well, as we were working our way through Lithgow. So yeah. The problem I've got this light on the camera and I can't read this and look at that, so it's really, really hard. So this Friday night we've got another new video coming up, and that's on Gari on Fraser Island, and it's going back into the history of Gari, how it, all the stories that have started from the beginning to where it is today. So make sure you tune in for that one because it's pretty cool and it's a lot of fun. And also we've got the Gari cleanup that's just happened there, where everybody that come in from all the different clubs and whatnot really got into it and helped everybody out. And I think we've done 8.3 tonne of rubbish off the beaches this year with all the different four-wheel drive clubs. And there was, I think there was over 300 vehicles, over 500 people doing that cleanup. So it was pretty cool. Oh, crikey, I can't see. Oh, look, it's my daughter. She's just asking me about how the Oz tent, rooftop tent's going that I'm sleeping in. It's a bit of luxury I've got up there on the top of the landy, because I'm used to sleeping in a swag, but I'm doing well in that. It's pretty awesome. So no, it's great, and I am sealed up in there. But I do love how the old lights light the whole place up. You probably can't see it. No, you can't see it because how we're sitting. Hang on, we're just moving that to make it a bit more awkward for me. But no, it's so slow. The time delay is amazing. Wow. Anyway, it's got a light up. It's got lights all around it up the top, so it's pretty cool. Now, what else have we got happening? Oh, that's probably a bit better. Getting rid of that light. Jeez. So really, anyone got any content? Anyone got any ideas of, or are they enjoying the content that I'm delivering at the moment? And is there something that they would like to see more of? Because I mean, by all means, drop us a line, because you never know unless people point those sort of things out to you. So it'd be helpful if you're enjoying it. Great, love it. But I all I want to do is make things better, enjoy more of this sort of stuff, and go more places. So You got anything there? Add it to it. That would be cool. Have you added anything to me here? Well, the land build, we've sort of went right through everything, bar replacing a motor and gearbox and diffs sort of thing. So it was sort of a strip clean up and everything else, but I cannot complain about how it's travelling. We are loaded up at the moment because I wasn't sure if I was going to go further on from this trip to another destination, as in another state, but we still haven't decided on that yet. This has died on me. So anyway, hey. Who have I got? Yeah, who? Doesn't say. I'll just say g'day to the guys at Arc Point. I'm not sure who's on, but anyway, I'm going well. It's been really cold down here, but I'm going well. As I was saying, yeah, the build's been going. The build was unbelievable. Because I've built so many of the Land Rovers before, it was just getting the power to weight ratio set up right on what sort of stuff I needed, like in carrying fuel, water, how I carried the stuff in the canopy set up, how it was laid out, all the positioning, all that sort of stuff made a huge difference, because that's quite important to me. That one. Oh, crikey. Even smaller screen. Jeez. What do we got? Good on you. Venture of low range, yeah. Yes, I know, mate. It's very cold, and I'm guessing you're in the Northern Territory at this stage in time. How heavy is the Landy versus your last? Well, honestly, my last Landy, this one would be probably around, look, it's going to be up at the, I'd say 3.5 to 3.7 is where this one's going to be. My other one was sitting at about 3.2 to 3.3. So that's sort of the weight ratio there. I'd love to give the Gun Barrel Highway. Yeah, I've done the Gun Barrel Highway on the dirt, the old Gun Barrel Highway, which is very, very cool. When you do the Gun Barrel Highway on the dirt, that is something different, because you have to get permits to cross the state lines, because you actually do Northern Territory, South Australia and Western Australia when you're crossing it, and but it is a true adventure. What was his name? Len Bedell. You'll see his markers all along that on that Gun Barrel Highway on the dirt. So it's a pretty cool track to do, and especially if you ever get a chance to do it. Do I prefer the RTT over the Swag? I got to say, absolutely. But in saying that, I will change on that. Absolutely, it's great, fantastic. But I don't know about in the cold, when you're in a Swag, you can huddle up and you haven't got all the air around you. But I've been pretty good so far, because I've bought extra layers and lots of them just to keep covered, because I'm not used to the cold anyway. But it's been a lot of fun, a lot of fun. Who else have I got? Yes, it is very fresh down here. So going soft. Yeah, I am getting soft. I'm getting old and I'm getting soft, but you won't stop me doing this stuff. I love it. I live it. I breathe it. It's what I love to do. We just sat down and had a big cook up here, because we'd finished earlier today what we were doing, because it was pretty cool. So having to sit around the fire, it doesn't get much better than that. You've got a bush TV. It is a bit fresh, but I tell you, if we didn't have the firewood what is supplied at this campsite, I'd be huddled up inside that rooftop tent, that's for sure. Oh, I lost your phone now, so I can't see any questions. Why don't we just keep swapping technology? How good's that? Oh, I can see this one even better. Look at this. Have I got any favourites out of the old Aussie Explorers? Oh, look, I don't really have favourites as such. I just enjoy looking at their journey, because whether it's right or wrong on what they did, how they did it, it's interesting on the factors of when you go on those sort of trips, you get into those destinations and you go, oh wow, how hard were these guys having to survive in this sort of area and this remoteness? And especially when I was in WA, I was looking at a lot of the places, because we were in right up north of WA, not so much as in the Kimberleys at that stage, but we're in desert country and there's just no water. And then they had people like in the hundreds and in the thousands sort of in those areas. And I'm just going, how could they do it? Where did they get the water from? So when it comes to the explorers, you know, they're a hardy lot to get through what they got through and how they've survived. So, but I haven't got a favourite, that's for sure. All right. Do I have a coffee machine on board? Of course I don't. I don't have them luxuries. It's instant coffee for me. Not that I would like it, but I don't need it. It's all good. I do love my coffee, that's for sure. Tom Cruise. We've had an interest. Yeah, Tom Cruise. Now, Tom Cruise, when he, like you look at his story, you look at how he crossed the desert, how he done that mail run, that was pretty special. Now that there, when I'm actually going to be crossing the desert. I'm not sure if it's going to happen this year. It might be next year, because we've sort of got knocked out with all the rain and the wet that's happened through the desert. But I want to get to, if you've actually seen the movie of Tom Cruise when he was crossing the desert, there's a lot of places that you see in the background of those of the old filming that I want to try and retrace and get to some of those places, because they were pretty awesome, that's for sure. But it's a good story, Tom Cruise, definitely. What else have we got? Have we? No, it's not touchscreen, is it? Oh, how do I do that? Oh, there it is. Oh, that one. Driving through it. Yeah, well, we got caught up in the snow yesterday, and that was pretty cool. I've heard today that it's dropped in a lot of the states and whatnot, but it was the first time for us, and it was really quite interesting to see how many people had actually come up. We were just passing through, but had come up to find and have a look at the snow yesterday, because at first I'm going, what are all these people doing here? Because they're all in just cars, and then I realised it's all about the snow. So it was good, it was great. All right, hi mate, I've just got here. So where you camping? Looks cold, it's freezing. I'm not used to the cold, it is cold. Uranda. Uranda? Yeah, Uranda, that's where we're camped at the moment. Pretty cool. We're going to be, we've just done a bit of filming here, telling the story of what happened here and what's here and all that sort of stuff. So you have to stay tuned for that one. If you've already been here, well, you know what the place is about and how awesome it is. So it's pretty cool. What 12-volt system are you running? Oh, there's Ian Cuss. Hey Ian, haven't seen you for a long time. Hope all is well. Now, what 12-volt system am I running? So I've got the Red Arc in this one, and I'm running the custom lithium 200 amp battery. So I've got Red Arc 2000 watt inverter. I've got the BMS 30 in there, which everything's in there switching through all the Red Arc gear. And then of course with that 200 lithium from Custom Lithium, that is working an absolute treat. But I mean, I've run all all 12-volt systems all the time from when I had a 12-volt shop, you know. So it's something that's not new to me, but I know what works. So I always work with the best stuff for that sort of thing, so I don't have any breakdowns when I'm out on the track. But I can't say for at the moment, and I'm happy about that. Chad, has the cold ever affected your 12-volt? Well, in saying that, we were just talking about it before, because it's like cooking in the cold to cooking in the heat. Two totally different lots to work with. Cooking in the cold, it takes longer, and you don't realise how much longer it takes compared to cooking in the heat. When we were charging, as in charging our camera gear and all that sort of stuff on this trip, it's been a lot slower to normal, and you really notice it when you're not used to that sort of thing. So yes, absolutely have noticed a difference on the charging ability of stuff, definitely. Wanderers Brisbane, hey Jamie, hope you're keeping warm, mate. Rig looks amazing. Mate, great work. Oh, thanks, mate. Yes, it is. It is cold, so we are keeping warm. Watched the Mount Me video just the other day. Where is your favourite place to unwind in southeast Queensland? Where is my favourite place to unwind in southeast Queensland? Look, you just said unwind. So unwind for me is probably sitting on the beach, which would be Fraser Island, because you can go up there, kick back, look at that surf, look at them waves, and you know it. You know, once you sit there and just chill out, everything goes calm. You relax. So that would be my go-to for a chill out. That's for sure. If I was talking on land, I'd probably in southeast Queensland. Oh look, that's really hard. There's a lot of places, because once you start heading out west in Queensland, whether it's towards Birdsville or out those sort of areas, once you get into that channel country and you start getting to the red sands and red dirts, it's another. Absolutely. Hey? Yep. So make sure you tune in this weekend, because, I mean this Friday, because as I said, Fraser Island, which is Gari, the Gari video will be out, and it'll be, I'll talk about the history of the name changing and all the different stuff that's happened on that island over the years. So make sure you tune into that, and look, drop us a comment so I know that, you know, I'm answering the questions that you might want to know or might want to see in these different places, because it really helps me. How was the cleanup? I heard it was a mammoth. Oh, yeah, absolutely. How was the cleanup up at Gari? It was mammoth, and I mean, it was so good though, with everybody that pitched in and helped the whole thing. I've just got getting smoked out at the moment, but that's all right. It was so we done 8.3 tonne. There was 500 people and just over 300 vehicles there, from all different clubs all over the state. But we had an absolute ball. Everybody pitched in, and you know, the exciting part about that is taking the family and teaching the kids, because the kids get to do it, get to see what mum and dad are doing, what others are doing, and then they get to understand. And there's a lot of talk on it, and a lot of understanding. Especially there was a lot of P-platers there for the first time, and I think they just had an absolute ball learning how to drive on the beach, getting an understanding. So I think it was great for everybody, but we had an absolute ball. All right, what else have we got? Whoop, wrong way. Oh, what's one trip you'd love to do? Oh, what's one trip? You can't ask me one trip I'd love to do. One trip I'd love to do. There's not many states or places I haven't been in Australia, but there's places I want to spend a lot more time in Australia, and there's two of them straight off the cuff is the Kimberleys and Arnhem Land. They are remote. They're, you know, people have been there, people have seen different things, but they're still very, very untouched. and there's so much history in those areas, especially in the culture side of things. And I think it's a place for a lot of show and tell, to explore those areas, and that is something that I'm passionate about in that area, because I love that sort of stuff, that's for sure. Oh, this isn't touchscreen. We'll get one of them one day. All right. Oh, Chad, my son Hunter would like to know, what is your favourite camp cook-up you go to, Mill, when you have all the time in the world? Oh, look, I'm pretty simple, really. We just had my go-to tonight, which is my youngest daughter's favourite, which is my oldest daughter, she likes to do it too, and that's curried sausages. And you know, we add a few herbs and spices into that, you know, from peanut butter to sultanas to curry to capsicum to a jam, all those sorts of things, and it adds that flavour and gives it that bite and taste that you just can't beat with some really soft up mashed potatoes. So that would be my go-to, because it's really quick and easy. But I did complain tonight on how long it took to cook here to what I normally cook when I cook anywhere else, because I'm not used to the cold side of things, even though we're using a fire. You know, it was pretty interesting. What else we got here? What's your best fishing story? Oh, fishing story, crikey. Where do we go with that one? So fishing story, okay, I'm up in Cape York. I'm on the Mitchell River, which is over on Pomperaw side, which is the west coast. Anyway, me and a good mate of mine, Jason, we are out there. We're in a little tinny, flicking lures. We got quite a few barramundi while we were there, and he flicked and he got it just on the edge of the bank. And while it's on the edge of the bank, what happened was we could just go over in the boat to get the lure out of the log that he'd got it in, which was okay. So we get over there, and then all of a sudden, a big croc comes up underneath the tinny, lifts the whole tinny and us out of the water, and you know, knocked us both down inside the boat, thankfully, not outside. That would be my funniest fishing story I've got, which was really lucky. There is a lot more of them, but I'll leave them for another day. What else have we got? Absolutely, the Kimberleys are gold. Yes, they are. Yum, I do love that. Yes, that's my daughter. Yes, I know you love that. And what would be the trip you would do if it was the last trip you could ever do? Nah. I'll go to the Kimberleys and you may not see me again. That would be my trip. The Kimberleys. I'd be in there and lost in there. That would be my trip, without a doubt. Oh yeah, that's a good one to keep. You want to? Hunter some said hi. G'day. Holy crap, I bet you never forgot that one. No, I didn't forget that one, but I have got another one I could tell you about as well. But oh, look, we'll get to that another time. But I mean, look, oh look, there's Matt. Hey Matt. That's a wild one with the croc, mate. Yeah, it was indeed, that's for sure. Look, I hope you're enjoying this, and I hope this is working out, because I mean, I'm having a ball, I'm enjoying it, and especially when people ask questions, because you know, it's what they want to know. And look, if you do want to know this stuff, it's so good, because I've been a few places over the years, in lots of different ways. So from motorbikes to four-wheel drives to hiking, walking, all that sort of stuff. So no, it's been good. So if you haven't got any more, so anyone got anything else? So make sure you tune in for Friday, Gary, 7:30. It'll be on. I'm not seeing anything else coming through. All right, guys, I will sign out there. I've had an absolute ball, and hope to do it again. And if you can write me a comment just to let me know if you want to do it again, that'd be awesome. All right, thank you. See yous.